Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back again for another video tonight. I apologize. It's been a pretty eventful day, and this is the first opportunity that I've had to record this video for you guys. But there's quite a few different. It's gonna be kind of a random video. There's several different topics that I kind of want to review here today. I'm starting out with some kind of side deck cores here in the beginning, and a couple of support options, as well as an investment that I thought about, but ultimately I want to leave it up to you guys if you think it's a smart idea or not. I personally don't think I'm going to go through with it, but I kind of just had an off spark of maybe this could be a good investment. So starting out with the Malefic cards here. I remember back in the day I used to play this beater deck with Malefics and Skill Drain and Macrocosmos and all this crazy stuff, and it had like Goblin Attack Force and Fusilier Dragon, and just a really awesome old school deck. Unfortunately, Skill Drain is at 1, and it's been like that forever. I'm really hoping that comes off the ban list to 3 soon enough. But I've seen some pretty good value right here. Malefic Cyber End Dragon. This is the most expensive Malefic card that we have. This card is just a beastly beater of 4,000. Awesome artwork. This is, I think, this is a solo print. This is the only print that we have this, and it happens to be a secret rare from Bonds Beyond Time movie pack promo, and it's just $10 across the board. Only 2 pages left. Starts to get at around 14 towards the bottom of the first page. I've never really seen anyone play straight up just pure Malefics. I've always seen people mix things in. Like as an example right here, Malefic Stardust Dragon. Sometimes, like back in the day, not really anymore that I'm aware of, but sometimes I mix it in because it's level 8 and it's good level 8 and turbo draw fodder. Sometimes they used to mix this in with Dark Worlds, and sometimes it works out pretty good. It combos very well. It can defend your gates. Field match card, and it's level 8, so it's good for advanced draw, for trade-in. It's an alert target, and it's just a level 8 that you can bust out easily and go for your rank 8 plays with Graph, so it's pretty awesome. This is the highest rarity dawning out of the Shonen Jump magazine promo, and it's sitting around $4-ish plus, and then quickly moves into about 5 and then 20, and this is the last page of this card. So this card is disappearing very quickly. Love the artwork of this card as well. Let's see what else we got here. The Ultra Stardust Dragon and Cyber End is really a secret, or is just really the only ones that really hold value. There's nothing else really that holds too true a value of this synchro thing. I don't really personally like this synchro, but again, I never played pure Malefics. I've only kind of mixed them in other supporting stuff. So, but I think this is just a cool side deck. Also in Dual Overload, we saw the dawning of some new support cards. We got 5 new support cards here. I haven't even read these. I never personally invested in Dual Overload, but it's cool that we got new support. Some pretty cool artwork right here too. So that is the Malefic stuff. Moving on to Magical Musketeers. This deck is super cheap and it's really fun. It's really easy to pilot. It has a really special hand mechanic that you can play your magic and traps from your hand if you have a Magical Musketeer monster, and it's just that is a really special and unique mechanic. It's one of the only archetypes to actually have that mechanic. It's really cool. Their counter trap card is really diverse and really powerful too. These cards, Starfire and Caspar, used to be a lot of money. They're still worth somewhat of some value, but they've obviously decreased in value because we saw ultra rare reprints dawning from Dual Overload here. It's kind of interesting that they only reprinted those two. I guess because those were the priciest cards. But this is a fantastic deck. It's really cool because all the monsters are light fiends. Normally fiends are dark, but this is an archetype that runs light, so you can like run honest and stuff. And it's just cool because there's not a lot of light fiends out there. Plus their link card, Magical Musketeer Max, is a link 1, and it just has a fantastic effect, and it's really cheap right now too. So really quickly, like the deck was already fun and it was pretty good. It wasn't like super competitive, but it was fun and it was good. Like you can't say that this deck is terrible. It's always been relatively, it can play some tricks and get people by surprise here and there. And this card is literally $1. It's less than $1 and jumps to about 2-3 pages left of this. And this is just an all-around amazing deck. So, and it's really cheap right now, even for the original prints. the original print secret rares from Spirit Warriors, which is pretty old now. I think that set came out in like 2017 or something like that. So this is definitely a great deck core to look at. Next is going to be Watts. So I know you're thinking like Watts, like what's with Watts? Watts is super old, never really caught on, never really got popular. But I don't know, I really like Watts. Their mechanics are pretty cool, their effects are pretty diverse. This isn't the best deck in the whole world, but it's just again, it's just kind of one of those underground deck archetypes that is pretty cool that I just like. I think Thunder stuff is pretty cool, and the most expensive card is obviously Watt Draft, Dawning from Shining Darkness. This is the super rare original prints. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first editions because this did get reprinted, I believe, in also Dual Overload or Dual Power or Dual Devastator, one of the Dual Ultra sets, and it's about $3. So you can get first edition original print super rare for about $3. Five pages left of this card. Of course, there is the ultra rare rarity bump reprint, but I would personally always go for the original print specifically for this card. The super rares are always just going to hold more value and just be more nostalgic and collector's value because the Shining Darkness is extremely ancient now. You can see it was Dual Overload that saw the dawning of the Ultra reprint. So this is an awesome deck core. Also, Abyss Rising saw the secret version original print of Thunder Seahorse, which is a really cool card. It has awesome artwork, and if you see the card up close, like the secret rare form is really deep. It looks really, really nice. This card is really cheap. It is only has a super rare, I think, 10 promo reprint. The thing that kind of debunks this card is you can't special summon the turn you activate this effect, which I mean isn't too crazy because Watts don't really special summon that I'm aware of. They're not too crazy. They don't really like swarm or anything like that. But this card is, Abyss Rising. It's a relatively old set now. This is a first edition secret, and it's super cheap. It's under $1 all across the board. You can get it for under $1. 5 pages to go, and this is just a great searcher card. So this is really cheap, and I really like this card a lot, and it's really cheap. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that. It's definitely a big supporter card for Watts. Next is going to be Phantasm. I think this is a great deck. I love the mechanics. There's really not a lot of support. TCG players been really strange. I don't really know why it's bringing up all this other stuff. I really just wanted to look for the Phantasm cards. So you got like one here. I was really surprised. There really isn't any like high rarity stuff. I think these are all just like rares, and the majority of them came at maximum prices, which is not too old. But really cool effects and mechanics. And I'm actually kind of working on trying to blend the Phantasm cards in my Mermail Atlantean build right now. So I haven't been spending too much time on it, but I love Atlantean Mermail. I love water decks, and I think that this would be really fun to mix this Phantasm engine as kind of just an extra to the deck. Alright, and next is going to be, this is kind of a decor, not really a decor, it's a decor with kind of featured cards here. So just kind of pure burn or reversal burn, or whatever you want to call it. Gift card. This is doppled with 2 other cards I'm going to show you here. Bad Reaction and Nurse Rufficifil, the Fallen one, which actually got renamed as a Dark Lord card and got reprinted as a super, I believe, in Destiny Soldiers, I think it was. I can't remember. But anyway, gift card. So this is a combo card. You basically use this to burn your opponent for 3,000 in burn decks, whatever variant you want to do, as long as you have the reversal cards here, such as Bad Reaction and the Fallen one. There's other supporting cards here like Pass of Destiny, and you also have Upstart Goblin, which you can draw a card, burn them for 1,000. It's pretty fun. It's a pretty annoying deck, but I love messing around with burn decks. I'm kind of just an unfortunate player like that. I think it's fun to play these little decks every once in a while. My personal favorite version of burn is removal burn with like DD Dynamite and all that stuff. But this is solo print. Really quick, let's look into this. Common, it's about $3 plus if you want to factor in shipping, and there's 5 pages left. So it's definitely great value in this. So if you guys have this, you guys can sell it or whatever. It's just a good burn card. 2 prints of Bad Reaction to Simochi. I would always go with the LOD Original OG first editions. and this is basically just a stationary Dark Lord Nurse Refesolil. I like the Fallen one original name first. So this is like about a $50. Double Infinity has Let Me Play first editions for even $50, and there's 5+ pages of this. So that's one of the supporting cards. Now to my understanding, I kind of had a hard time finding this card because it got renamed and it got reprinted and stuff. But to my understanding, um, the original name here I think only has one printing, maybe, unless I missearch, or if there's some kind of error on TCG Player. I don't really know what's going on with this, but this is my favorite version. This is a PlayStation 2 GX, the beginning of Destiny, a super rare game promo, and this is the old name, and it's the old school super rare. Again, I'm pretty sure it got reprinted as a super rare in Destiny Soldiers, if I'm not mistaken, with the Dark Lord name update, because this is now a Dark Lord considered archetype monster. And this card is about $4-ish. Then it quickly moves to 5, and there's about 3 pages left of this. So this is personally my favorite version. Soul Taker. This is another card. You pop up your opponent's monster, and then they burn for 1,000. Really, none of these are really impressive. The only one is the Secret Rare from Gladiator Assault. Something about Secret Rares from Gladiator Assault, they're all like worth like mad amounts of money. It's pretty incredible. If you check that set out, all the Secret Rares are worth a lot of money. So you got some foreign ones here, and the first editions are like almost $50. They're like 48, and then they quickly go past even beyond 50. So it's pretty insane. This isn't a particularly good card. It's really not that good. It's kind of outdated. Under the circumstances, it's pretty cool in this burn deck, but I really don't think this card grants a $50 price point for this card. But again, it's a Gladiator Assault Secret Rare first edition, so I guess it has some kind of collector's value. This card's pretty cool. I didn't really know about this card. I would go for the original prints from Ancient Sanctuary. This is kind of slow, and you may not think this is a big deal, but there's a lot of burn / kind of like stall cards that are light that you can use. And 600 is a pretty good amount of damage. And with these kind of burn decks, you do a lot of stalling, and it's pretty difficult for your opponent to get rid of your monsters, depending on how defensively you make your builds. So I think 600 is a very fair amount to go for that burn. It's got pretty cool artwork too. Again, this is just a really old school common, so like 17 cents, really not a big deal at all. 5+ pages, you can definitely get it easily. And then of course there's the DD Dynamite. But why I want to say that is because you can do this combo, and again, this is either like I've used this in my anti-meta builds, and I've also used this more so in kind of my stall burn builds. There's a combo that you can do with Gravekeeper Servant, and you can also do it with Toll Hike. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You can combo it with either like Macrocosmos or Banisher of Radiance or Dimensional Fissure, and basically locks your opponent out. No one can attack essentially because no cards can be sent to the graveyard. They just get removed from play instead, so no one can declare an attack. It's a pretty large nuisance for your opponent. I mean, it's kind of funny. People get really frustrated because unless they have some trap or magic removal ways out, they're pretty much just stuck, and you just burn them to death, and it's pretty great. Also, I reviewed this card a couple of days ago in one of my older videos, and it's kind of interesting how if you look at the original prints from Magic Ruler, Spell Ruler, and even trickling into Dark Beginning, this card did not get censored. You can see the Crucifix crosses here in these first 3 prints, and then when it came out in Retro Pack and Dark Legends, you see that Konami fixed the censorship and took away the crucifixes and just put the normal circle tombstone. So I thought that's pretty cool. Again, DD Dynamite, if you want to play, this is my all-time favorite burn card in the whole entire set of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! This card does 300 damage for every card your opponent has removed from play. It's just insane. I would always go for the original prints from Flaming Attorney. I'm really surprised. This card's super old. Like, this card deserves a secret rare print. It really, really does. I really wish Konami would give a secret rare reprint to this card, because this card is such a blowout burn card depending on what deck you put it in. Magic Cylinder, this is a super great card. This is this is like a popular anime card, a collector's card. 26 reprints. This card has been reprinted to hell. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Generation 1 very nostalgic Labyrinth of Nightmare, Secret Rare versions. Let's see if we can find some first editions. I bet these are going for some pretty crazy prices. Only 3 pages in general for the original print secret, so that's pretty incredible. The first editions are not too bad, about 15. I thought they were going to be a little bit higher, but about 15 here, and then about 17, 18, and then there's one more page left to go through. So that is that's pretty nice for first editions. There's also, I forget this other card that comes Ultimate Rare that I reviewed not too long ago. It basically does the same thing. It's not quite as good because there's kind of a little bit more of a situational circumstances that you need to activate it. I want to say it's called I forget what it's called. It's like something Dimension, and it has like the DD Warrior Lady on it. And anyway, moving on here, Ring of Destruction. So there's, of course, we have the Lost Art promotion ultra rares, which I'm actually kind of disappointed about the Lost Art promotion because I lived in Japan for 2 years and I invested actually very heavily in a lot of the uncensored cards, but not really so much in Ring of Destruction because I think that the uncensored version looks really stupid. Like these cheesy animated grenades just looks really dumb compared to the flames that we got here in TCG. In the TCG, for some reason the retro pack, and a retro pack I can kind of understand. You guys kind of know my stance on Dark Revelations stuff. I don't know why, but Dark Revelations is like so expensive and it's become such a collector's thing, and I really don't understand why because they really don't even have nice rarities, whereas opposed to like retro pack had some pretty awesome secret rares, and I can understand retro pack. But let's go ahead and look at the Duelist Pack Kaiba, the highest rarity that we have so far here in the TCG as ultimate rares. If my memory serves me correctly, these are still relatively cheap, about $8+ for the unlimiteds. Let's see if we can find a first edition. First edition, so not too terrible. First editions are about 20-ish, about 20, 21. So it's kind of like at that price point where it's uncomfortable to buy it, but it is the highest rarity first edition as an ultimate rare. And yes, this card got errated, it got watered down a little bit, but it's still a very awesome burn card. But honestly, it's kind of, I would have a hard time figuring out. Honestly, I really do like the ultimate rares. If the ultimate rares were a little bit cheaper, I'd probably go for the ultimate rares. Like if they're around like 15 to like 10 range for the first editions specifically for the ultimates, that would definitely be a good pickup in my personal opinion. But I would honestly rather have the original OG secret rares from Pharaonic Guardian, the Generation 1s. The first edition, of course, exclusively. Even the unlimiteds here are, got pretty good value, about $6 for just unlimiteds. It's pretty crazy. Only 2 pages left on the market for this, and the first editions are coming in at around $15 to about $18. So, and it doppels down and drops off at almost around 40 at the bottom there, 38. So that's pretty incredible. Alright, so the next thing I wanted to share with you guys is I've been thinking about this a while, and there's a couple YouTubers that have discussed this set in particular for a great investment, Speed Duel Tournament Pack 1. As you can see here, unfortunately there's no artwork here on TCG Player. I'm not really sure what's up with that, but all of the holo foils in this pack are just worth pretty great amounts of money. And yes, it would make sense if you have a locals that does run or sanction speed duel tournaments, and you can just go and pay your entry fee and get a pack of these. That I think that is a really good investment, regardless if you like speed duels or not. Because just look at these prices, it's pretty insane for these. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because if we talk about stuff like the original game of Yu-Gi-Oh, like Tournament Pack 1, like Starter Deck Yugi, Starter Deck Kaiba, First Edition with Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, and Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon, First Edition Prince, those cards are just so ancient and they're worth so much value because of collector's market. And I thought, well, maybe that, if Speed Duels, like this is the genesis, this is the dawning of Speed Duels, one day, Tournament Pack 1, and these starter decks, or structure decks, or whatever they're called, and the first set of Speed Duels, maybe it'll be like the original game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And like 20 years down the line, these are going to be worth like thousands of dollars or whatever it may be. But I've been really looking at it, and it's not the same. I really can't buy in. I could buy into Tournament Pack 1 there's a way that you could just get the packs. I've checked on eBay; they're ridiculously expensive on eBay. You're not gonna buy a box of Speed Duel Tournament Pack 1s and just get lucky and pull, Blue Eyes and Dark Magician and all this stuff and make great bank. That's not really going to happen because everyone's kind of knows, like, the cat's out of the bag. Everyone knows that the hollow foils in this set are worth money. So I kind of looked into, like, other things. You can see here, like, this is just a quick search on eBay. Give you a rough estimate of what the singles are going and, like, the packs and stuff. So personally, investing in sealed product of this or even in singles themselves, I don't think it's worth it because they're just really pricey. And yeah, probably they'll go up over time, but, like, they're just ultras too. Like, they're not even, like, cool rarities. And the Red Eyes looks great, but the Dark Magician Blue Eyes, like, they picked, like, the stupidest artwork versions of those cards. Like, there's so many better artwork versions that they could have used. They use literally, like, the crappiest versions of Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, in my opinion. The Harpy's Lady Sister is pretty cool, and the Red Eyes Black Dragon's pretty cool artwork, but I don't know, like, it's so anyway. This is like a rough estimate, just a quick search of the tournament pack prices, all pretty pricey, not really worth it. Speed Duels Arena of Lost Souls. This is the first core set that came out for Speed Duels, and there's no value. And I know Speed Duels relatively just came out, and, like, this definitely needs time to go into collector's value and all that. But it's just, like, these cards are so bad. Like, and I know, like, the cards are really bad too. Like, back in, like, Metal Raiders and LOB and, like, like, Generation Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, the game was just really slow, and it was still developing, and they're kind of still creating a game and all that. But these cards are just so terrible. Like, there's not even cool artwork, and they're just really old, just crappy, not really playable cards. Again, I don't play Speed Duels. I've never played Speed Duels, and I don't really know exactly about the rules or about, like, these new cards or anything like that. I'm just trying to look to make money. I'm trying to, like, see, like, if there's a way that we can just flip Speed Duels and turn it into, like, a cash cow. And it doesn't really look like this route is going to be it. So if we look here, these are boxes of sealed first edition of the first core set. And yeah, the boxes are relatively cheap. So you could buy these, and then that's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, like, I'm going to buy these first edition sealed and then just hold them for, like, 10 years or whatever, and they're going to be worth so much money. Now, yeah, I'm pretty sure in, 10, 20 years, maybe even 5 years, these are definitely going to be a lot more expensive than the $50 price points that they're holding for these sealed first editions for the first core set. But there's just no, I don't know, it's just a terrible set. There's just ugly, crappy rarity, like, I don't know, it kind of just, like, reminds me of, like, a structure deck, like a really crappy structure deck, of just common garbage. I don't know, so I just really not buying into it at all. We have the original starter decks, the dual Destiny Masters. Let's see if this is gonna load. And there's actually the first starter decks. It was 2. There was a Yuki and Kaiba one, and then the, like, Egyptian lady. I really wish these tabs would load. I had them loaded. I don't know why. They have to reload again. So here it is right here. It has the Mai Kaiba Joey, Pegasus, whatever this lady's name was from the anime, and the Yamayuki sets. They came in sets of 8, 4 of each. This is a quick look on eBay again for sealed first edition. Tried to find sealed first edition boxes of these because I was thinking, oh man, like, this is gonna be like starter deck Yugi with first edition Dark Magician, or like starter deck Kaiba with first edition Blue Eyes, but it's just not. It's really not. If TCG Player would load, I can show you. This is the Yugi one. There's just no value. There's just really no value, and these cards are just really not. I don't know. They're just. I really just don't like this at all. Most of them are common, obviously, as with a lot of starter decks and structure decks and all that. And here is the Kaiba Mai Joey one. I don't know, with this deck, okay, like, so maybe, like, it does, if Red Eyes is a hollow, then maybe it's not even hollow, it's common. I thought there may have been potential for this because this is a really cool version of Red Eyes. If they made it like at least an ultra or even a super rare, but not a common, I would have probably invested in this because first editions of like the first starter deck of Red Eyes, I think that could have hold great value. The same thing with Blue Eyes. Again, they use the stupid tablet artwork of this card, which is just really dumb. But it's a common. It's not even a holo foil. I really think that Starter Deck Kaiba and Starter Deck Yugi, the first edition prints exclusively, gained so much momentum in the collector's value. One, because of their age and the anime popularity and just collector's market in general, but because they were ultra rares. They were ultra rares. These cards are not even holo foil. Same with like any of this stuff. Like if the Dark Magician, if she was a super rare, ultra rare, that would definitely be worth investing into, but it's not. They made it a common. Like I thought that was just a giant blunder on Konami's part. I really just did not see any potential for these to really grow that much. I mean, obviously over time as they go out of print, as they get harder to get, when you can't just get boxes and boxes on eBay, it's going to go up in value, but not to a point where I really think it's going to be worth it. It's just not going to be the same as big time Yu-Gi-Oh! Original Yu-Gi-Oh! And unfortunately, that's just kind of what I think about that. So anyway, so that was kind of an investment I was thinking about. Then obviously I decided no, it's not worth it. It's just not the same as OG Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm a firm believer that, it's not going to go up anywhere near the value of, original Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament Pack 1, starter deck Kaiba and Yugi, first edition Blue Eyes and Dark Magicians, and Legend of Blue Eyes, White Dragon, first edition print cards. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Really quick, I wanted to review my favorite Gold Series, like the only true really Gold Series that are pretty awesome. Gold Series 2009. Some pretty cool. I really like this version. This actually did Gold Series 2008, 2009 did gold right, and it just has like a hint of gold, and it polishes off very nicely on the edge of the cards. Looks really great. Got Solemn Judgment, Gold Sarcophagus. This is actually my favorite version of Gold Sarcophagus right here. Cool Sangan. I mean, there's supers and secrets that look really nice too. Test Tiger. Mind Control is actually my favorite version of Mind Control. There's also a super rare version that's pretty cool. Bottomless Trap Hole looks pretty great, but we have secret rare versions. Dark Arm Dragon looks really cool too, but we have two different secret rare prints and an ultimate rare print. So this is kind of just like whatever side choice. Royal Firestorm Guards. There's a secret rare version of this, but this is a really cool card. It looks pretty nice. All of these cards look really really nice too. Prime Material Dragon. I really like this card. This card's pretty cool. Veil of Darkness is pretty cool. And this is just a really cool set. They really did the gold rares very well in this set. Moving on to 2008 series, there is some pretty cool cards here. It's kind of funny, I actually talked about this in one of my previous videos. Crush Card Virus, who would have thought this is the most valuable card, and this is actually, it puts the ultimate rare on the board. It's pretty crazy. It's like the runner-up, and I think this is even more expensive than the first edition Duelist Pack Kaiba, I believe, ultimate rares, which is pretty insane. It definitely it competes for that spot. Dark Magician of Chaos is pretty cool. Mirror Force, Cyber Dragon looks pretty cool. Reinforcements of the Army looks pretty cool. Torrential Tribute, all this stuff. Breaker, Heavy Storm looks really cool. This is banned. I mean, I believe this is going to be coming off the list. I'd personally go for the original Metal Raiders. The super rares are like ungodly expensive right now, relatively expensive right now. But that's my favorite print, would be the original print super rares. There's just a lot of cool old school cards here that got reprinted. So this is a cool set. I would just go check it out every once in a while. Secret Fortress is really quick, so everyone knows the top dogs here. Necros has always been worth significant amount of money. Went down a little bit in price when it was Dual Power came out with the ultra rare reprints. But right now specifically, Vanity's Emptiness, there is a secret rare version which looks very nice, which is around like $10-ish right now. This is really cheap right now. I think Vanity's Emptiness is going to be coming off the list. This is kind of one of the main ban cards I'm really looking at right now. So this is a great alternative, cheaper alternative to the secrets. But more specifically, Necros of Unicorn and Necros of, I can never pronounce this, Classolas. They're really cheap. They're about $1 right now. These are for like the original print, first editions. Unicorns are a little bit over $1, but both of these are very, very cheap right now. There's plenty in the market, so I would definitely scoop these up because I don't think that these should stay at this price. I mean, when you look at Necros builds, people, yeah, they run these cards right here, like the big dogs, but they also run at least one copy of these, sometimes even 3 of Unicorn. So these, I would definitely pick these up. Also, really quickly, before I close this video here, the Yusenjus, I'm pretty sure dawned out of this set, and they all come secret rare, and they're all really, really cheap. I really love super rare Soul Absorption and Abyss Dweller as well. More Yusenju stuff. So also Soul Release. I don't really care much about this. We have so many better versions of Royal Decree, so I wouldn't really worry too much about the super rare version. But hollow version of Soul Release. This is just a really awesome set. I personally have several boxes of this sealed first edition, and the sealed first edition boxes are actually really expensive right now for some reason. You can see here it's pretty crazy. I guess because it's just relatively old now, and pretty sure this set came out around the same time. I remember this was roughly around the same era of Duelist Saga, which still to this day is really cool because it has that kind of wavy ultra rare rarity that is only in Duelist Saga. So I would definitely check out Secret Forces. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.